may this be one of the best moments of your life. You're listening to the Business Mirror Podcast for a broader look on business with Senior Editor Dennis Estopase.
Good day. Welcome to the Business Mirror BM Broader Look Podcast. Today's podcast focuses on the potentials of urban farming as government's imposition of lockdowns against the Covid-19 pandemic has constricted the food supply chain. We podcast the story titled COVID-19 Leads City Farming Opportunities to Center Stage. The story was written by Business Mirror reporter Jasper Emmanuel Arcalas, which was published on June 11, 2020. For the text version online, please go to www.businessmirror.com.ph and search for Broader Look. For the print edition, please read the Broader Look section of the Business Mirror newspaper every Thursdays. Let's get on with the story. The coronavirus disease 2019 or COVID-19 pandemic highlighted the flaws of various food systems in the world. But it also emphasized one vital element that has been ailing the farm sector: the neglect for food production. The disruptions in domestic trade caused by lockdowns have resulted in an imbalance in the food supply. This has resulted to a shortage of food products in certain areas like the metropolis, while a glut in food production areas. The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization said such a situation puts cities, particularly those in developing countries like the Philippines, at vulnerable state with the urban poor having to endure the brunt of the food system disruptions. The Food and Agriculture Organization, or FAO, said in a policy brief that the COVID-19 pandemic is disrupting urban food systems worldwide, posing a number of challenges for cities and local governments that are obliged to deal with rapid changes in food availability, accessibility, and affordability, which strongly impact the food security and nutrition situation of urban populations. The bottom line, according to the Food and Agriculture Organization, is that poor people in urban areas are seriously affected not only by the spread of the virus itself, but also by policies and measures to contain its spread. Unless effective programs are put into place to mitigate these effects and to support their livelihoods. The Food and Agriculture Organization noted that the COVID-19 pandemic did not only expose serious limitations in the global food trade, but also in the urban food system's functioning and resilience. Along with the evolution of the pandemic and also in its wake, the Food and Agriculture Organization said important questions have to be answered regarding how urban food systems can be better managed to avoid such events turning into food security, nutrition, and livelihood crisis. In fact, the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on urban food systems hit Filipinos close to home: the lack of household food security. Senator Cynthia Villar, the current chairman of the Senate Food Committee on Agriculture and Food, pointed out that the current public health crisis is an eye-opener that should prod authorities to promptly address the limitations of the country's food supply and shortcomings in its distribution system. Senator Villar said a shift in government priorities for food production is not only urgently needed, but would also change people's mindsets on farming. According to Senator Villar, growing food in one's backyard is the most effective way, especially for food-poor families, to make sure they will not go hungry during emergencies. Senator Villar said urban agriculture is a key measure to avert and alleviate food poverty, particularly among the urban poor. Senator Villar's views weren't lost on the Department of Agriculture. The Department of Agriculture said it is cognizant of the virus impacts on different layers and segments of the country's food value chain in the government's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. One of these segments is household food security and urban agriculture. In April, the Department of Agriculture kickstarted its urban farming program aimed at boosting local food production, particularly ensuring household food security during the public health crisis. Under its urban farming program, the Agriculture Department said it will distribute free seeds to interested individuals as well as partner with local government units in Metro Manila and nationwide to establish an urban agriculture system. Agriculture Secretary William Dar said the Urban Agriculture Initiative serves as one of the Agriculture Department's strategies to provide Filipino families, including city dwellers who were affected by the Luzon-wide enhanced community quarantine, with adequate, accessible, and affordable food. To date, the Department of Agriculture said it has served about 721,169 individuals and households. Out of the nearly 1 million households it is targeting to benefit from its urban agriculture program. The Agriculture Department added it has already partnered with 19 provincial local government units or LGUs, 243 municipal level and city level LGUs, and 13 communities, barangays, and schools. The Department of Agriculture said it is eyeing to partner with 20 provincial LGUs, 291 municipal level and city level local government units, and 41 communities, barangays, and schools under its urban agriculture program. Last May, the Agriculture Department unveiled that local celebrity James Reid would be its ambassador for food security. The DA added that Reid volunteered for the role. Reid himself admitted he is not an expert in agriculture but disclosed that he wanted to use his visibility to champion agriculture. Reid revealed that he started a new company, The Freshest Incorporated, which will focus on urban farming, particularly promoting hydroponics in cities as part of the new normal. The actor said he would release details of his new venture in the coming weeks. Nonetheless, Reid disclosed that he plans to create a lot of content to expose to more people the importance of urban farming and, hopefully, inspire the youth to venture into agriculture and become the next generation of farmers. James Reid said in a television interview that farming is something people tend to overlook and is something that should not be taken for granted. James Reid believes farming should be one of the biggest industries in the Philippines and something Filipinos should be proud of. Economist Pablito Villegas said the Agriculture Department's move to tap James Reid as ambassador for food security could be viewed as the embodiment of the future of farming, millennials who have passion for agriculture. This could be a sound investment of the Agriculture Department as James Reid could encourage a particular representation of the population, the millennials, to venture in farming, Villegas told the Business Mirror. Villegas added to encourage them that there is money, there is hope, and there is food security in agriculture is a good move. The economist added that it could be easily misconstrued as a simple gimmick, but if properly used by the Department of Agriculture, using James Reid as ambassador can boost the demand for urban farming. Villegas, a former United Nations food security and value chain consultant, said various government urban agriculture programs in the past have repeatedly failed because of one key reason: they were not demand-driven. Villegas explained that assured markets should be created in order for urban farmers to sustain their food production and even go beyond household food security level. It has to be more on the demand and not supply lead, Villegas said. The economist advises to first create the market. Villegas added that if the program is only aimed for household food security, it will not be sustainable. It should go beyond that, Villegas said. The government should show that as a community, you can grow it together, he added. One way to create a market, Villegas explained, is by requiring local government units to tap their own farmer residents or from a partner subdivision that has a community garden or farm as the source of all the food requirements of its employees. Villegas said local government units could also kickstart providing their employees with healthy food packs every payday or once a month, which includes fruits and vegetables directly sourced from their urban farmers. Villegas added that local government units could also pass an enabling order that would require households to plant in their own backyards or in their subdivisions their very own food requirements. Furthermore, Villegas said local government units should also hire agriculturists, preferably new graduates for every barangay, to sustain proper practices for urban agriculture. According to Villegas, this would not only ensure a working urban farming system, but will also provide employment to young agriculturists. The government should also complement its urban agriculture program with proper consumer education on why they should produce certain types of foods and the benefits of various products, Villegas added. Villegas said educating people what to eat and what kind of food they are able to access right now creates demand. If people realize that food sold in the market has pesticide and is chemical-laden, then they would prefer to produce their own organic food, Villegas added. The COVID-19 pandemic also puts a spotlight on one of the usually neglected problems of the country's food system, which is wastage. Villegas said reducing food waste is also a vital component of urban agriculture, as scraps could be turned into compost, while other waste materials like plastic bottles could be used as gardening pots. The Food and Agriculture Organization pointed out that reducing food loss and wastage is also one of the best ways to increase food production. Reducing food loss and wastage, the FAO said, would generate additional food supplies that could be distributed to households that are at most risk during this pandemic. The FAO said it encourages countries to adopt holistic approaches to tackle food loss and waste reduction in an effort to facilitate access to food for all, and particularly for vulnerable groups during the pandemic. Jovita Raval of the National Nutrition Council said the promotion of urban agriculture by the Department of Agriculture is a step in the right direction to ensure that households have available food supply. However, Raval proposed that the Agriculture Department educate city dwellers to produce healthy and nutritious food that would help them boost their immune systems and improve their well-being. Based on the survey of the National Economic and Development Authority, Filipinos would demand healthier food products as they seek to stay healthy and boost their immune system under the new normal. Philippine Permaculture Association founder Bert Peter said, "The COVID-19 and the new normal is a golden opportunity for permaculture to grow in the country. Permaculture is a system that works according to the ways how nature is designed," Peters explained. Pietro said permaculture could help urban cities to establish a sustainable and ecological farming system by assessing first the current assets that they have, such as soil and water availability. Pieters, who lives in an off-grid house in the Marikina subdivision, said greening the metropolis should be part of the new normal. He proposes the establishment of pocket parks and urban farming zones in cities to ensure that residents have a stable supply of healthy food and allow them to earn additional income. Pieters said urban agriculture should be more of a community endeavor to ensure sufficiency of food stocks among city dwellers. Pieters told the Business Mirror that residents could now do barter with their neighbors if they have bumper crop harvests, and better if they can go and trade with other cities as well. Good Greens Plus Company, a subsidiary of Delbros Group, has said that vertical farming infrastructure is one of the technologies that city dwellers and city local government units could utilize in establishing and sustaining their very own urban agriculture systems in the new normal. Good Greens Plus Company said the use of vertical farming infrastructure is ideal to kickstart urban agriculture in various cities in the country due to congested and limited space. Good Green Plus Company has built a 23 square meter tower farm in San Fernando, Pampanga that produces the same volume as much as a 2,700 square meter plot of ground. The tower farm produces around 170 kilograms of vegetables, according to the company. The company plans to expand its reach in Bacolod, Silay, Quezon City, Makati City, Siargao, Davao, and Boracay within the year. Good Greens Plus Company President Simon Villalon said in a recent statement that food security is of primary importance and is a key pillar of national sustainability. The company said it costs about $500,000 pesos per farm tower, but the local government unit provides the land. Villalon said their expansion entails a mix of both privately owned and publicly invested vertical farms. The vision for the Good Greens vertical towers, according to Villalon, is to be growing in the center of a vibrant and healthy community. The automated vertical farms are designed specifically to maximize available space. Villalon said that a farm would, for example, output 1.7 tons of greens monthly, would require around 500 square meters to 800 square meters and cost about 6 million pesos.
for listening to the Business Mirror podcast. For a broader look on business, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Business Mirror. Until next time.